Kedrick the Head Trip here. I survived the Continuum of Care scam. Continuum of Care continues its violations and nothing's done about it. There'd be no point filing a grievance because they're not going to investigate themselves. They would dismiss the grievance and retaliate. It's been weeks since my doctor ordered some tests. I don't drive. The staff here refuse to simply tell me when they could give me a ride for the tests and do so. They would have to tell me in advance so I would know to fast. And then all they would have to do is bring me to Quest Diagnostics for the tests and then drive me back. Instead, they've been dodging me for weeks. It has been weeks since my doctor ordered those tests, and I've been waiting in suspense because it hasn't yet been determined whether or not anything's wrong with my kidneys. Continuum of Care incorrectly claims to rebuild lives, but in fact, no certifications are required. The staff didn't go to school. They get an easy paycheck for nothing. I'll probably have to wear sunglasses for the rest of my life because of the light sensitivity. It's called photophobia. At a house I lived at before, the lights were left on full blast 24/7. I had to dim the lights in my room, and the staff retaliated by installing a motion-activated light in front of my door to fry my eyes every time I opened the door to go in or out of my room. My eyes felt like they were on fire. When they vow revenge, they are not kidding. I told them to do their job, and they retaliated. They housed me with a bully, Mike Inigo Jr., who waited for me at a public park. He's literally a stalker, and the staff were just hiding in the office when he was throwing out my belongings, and they retaliated by not making him reimburse me. These are bad people. If I could choose where to reside, I would just move out. I'm a political prisoner because there's a conservator person in the state.
The conservator,
there was never any grounds for that.
Was a person,
and
but not also a state.
I haven't called for a probate court hearing is because the staff here wouldn't give me a ride. This is the house in Weathersfield where the bullying escalates every second of every day. Continuum of Care is a scam. While claiming to rebuild lives, these frauds are ruining lives. They forced me to share a house with Mike Inigo, who pulled down his pants to indecently expose himself, threw out my belongings, and waited for me at a public park because he's a stalker. Continuum of Care forced me to share a house with a stalker. The unqualified staff were hiding in the office the whole time. They're infuriated that I took a stand against their negligence. They expected an easy paycheck. They vowed revenge. They don't provide any services. They just bully me. And here's my case manager, Matt Quinn, a bully. He presumes anything I say has to be false just because I say it. When I show him the evidence proving him wrong, he runs away like a coward. It's called ableism. What happened to rebuilding lives? This bully has no idea that I'm a person. He never heard of human rights. He thinks I'm not a human. Instead of providing services, he gets in my face and points his finger in my face and then runs away from me like a coward. Some person, Norman, who works here, also bullies me. He gets in my face, points his finger in my face, shouting, "Don't try to bully me. I'm an old man." This is how they get revenge, because I wouldn't let it slide that Mike Inigo harassed me and threw out my belongings. There's no possibility that my belongings grew legs and ran away. The bully threw them out. And Continuum of Care denied me a reimbursement just to rub it in that they will never do any work. They will just get an easy paycheck for no reason. And they're considered essential workers. I don't remember not being hungry. I don't remember not having a headache. I don't remember not being a victim of bullying. They will not dim the lights. I have light sensitivity, i.e. photophobia. The bright lights fry my eyes and worsen my headaches. The bullies installed a motion-activated light at my door just to get revenge. I have no choice. Every time I open the door, my headache worsens and my eyes feel like they're on fire. I just went for an eye exam yesterday. The moment my glasses broke, I said something about it and the unqualified staff ignored me. Months later, I reminded my case manager that my glasses broke, so he called the cops and the mobile crisis team to give me an anxiety attack. They get revenge every chance they get. I don't choose where to reside. I'm an unfree person because of discrimination called ableism. A probate judge appointed a conservator of person without grounds because community mental health affiliates sent some crooks to lie under oath. The probate judge claims to be above the law, hence his refusal to penalize them for perjury. Nothing they said was true. I was never evaluated. I never had any of the symptoms that the doctors claimed I had. They were lying to push drugs. Crooked psychiatrists will misdiagnose anyone to shift the blame away from themselves. They torture people by forcing drugs upon them. Every time the prescribers refused to taper the drugs, they locked me up over withdrawal symptoms. I lost decades of my life because of psychiatry. I finally was able to taper those poisons myself. I've been off them for a while, and I'm subjected to constant stress. The unqualified staff give me anxiety attacks every day. This is entirely situational, not clinical. The case has been transferred to a different probate court in a different district with a different judge who still won't admit that another judge was in the wrong. I'm denied representation. Instead of giving me a good lawyer, the probate court appointed a fraud who never even returned my calls. I was never represented. This is all illegal, but those laws are unenforced. I lost everything because I was forced to share a house with a bully. I had to follow him around with a camera to prove that he was bullying me. I have footage of Norman talking about guns and he still didn't get fired. Norman said, "Who's bullying you?" "Oh, I don't see anybody bullying you." Of course, that jerk didn't see it. He was hiding in the office to avoid witnessing a resident bullying another resident. Norman said, "What, do you expect me to guard you with an AK-47? And he still works here. We're all in danger. I can't even eat because if I eat, they bully me. This is absolutely unacceptable. Eating is necessary to live. How else would I sustain myself?" This is the abuse that happens every day at this house in Wethersfield owned by Continuum of Care. The Wethersfield police refuse to do anything about it, and the local press refuses to report it. I'm not allowed any positive interactions. I'm surrounded by bullies and I'm not allowed company. It's like paying rent for solitary confinement. They'd never get away with this if it were on the news. And this food pantry is mostly empty space. There's barely anything here. Here's a whole empty shelf over here. Yeah. There's barely anything here at all. And most of it like isn't on my diet. There's like nothing here. The person in charge of this is lying about it, saying there's plenty here. Here's some evidence to the contrary. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing there. Definitely not enough there. That is absurd. This person who's lying is doing so to spite me by not adding anything. And I was without my food stamps for months because it took too long to get a replacement card and nothing was added. And a bunch of stuff that was expired has since been removed, and now there's even less here. So at least I have some evidence here that we have empty shelves, you know. Look at this. Unbelievable. All right. What? This unqualified staff member of Continuum of Care is guilty of a violation by befriending a mailman who threatened to assault me. Instead of protecting residents from violent criminals, she's over here fraternizing with Milton Jackson, who threatened to control my voice for me. I made it clear I wasn't yelling at him. I have difficulty controlling the volume of my voice. He threatened to control it for me.
Due to impaired hearing, I sounded louder than I meant to.
She told him I'm a grown man.
He kept ignoring me when
he thinks
he
it makes
knew
him
I was
brave to
asking
threaten to
the
assault a
question a
disabled
mailman
person.
might know. He was
He
egging
wouldn't
me
tell me
on
his
by
name
ignoring
initially.
me,
I've
and then
just
he
recently
falsely
learned
accused
that his
me of
name is
yelling
Milton
at
Jackson.
him. I told him about my difficulty controlling my voice. He
and
threatened to
nobody
control
working
it for
there
me.
is cooperating
He
with
threatened
me.
to assault
And
me,
this
and
person
I'm
who
much
works for
smaller
this
than
agency,
him and have a
Continuum of Care,
disability.
is over here
And then he was too
being
much of a
friendly
coward
with him.
to
That's
tell me
yet
his
another
name,
violation.
so I had to roll up
When
on
they
him with a
vow
camera
revenge, they
to
mean
learn
it.
his
This
name.
company is a scam, and if I could choose where to reside, I would move out of here. This place is terrible. For lack of a better expression, it's like paying the devil rent for living in hell. Look at this. This guy threatened me, and this person who gets paid for nothing is over here being friendly with him. She gets an easy paycheck for nothing, and when she gets called out for being unqualified, she goes retaliating by befriending this violent criminal who threatened me.
Thank you for helping me. I'll try to.
After many years of proving that I never needed the so-called medications, there are currently attempts to coerce me because I got traumatized yet again, and because I called out crooked cops and they got revenge by committing me, and I had to sign a discharge plan to get out. There are attempts to forcibly drug me again. A lot of the same abusers are still at community mental health affiliates. It's not like they would be any less abusive now. APRN, Michael Higgison, and Dr. John A. Nazarian are still there. They both abused me. And the fact that they're still there and my arm got twisted into going back in is alarming. There's no way there'd be any improvement. They retaliated because I wrote critical reviews. In fact, they had a lot to do with why the conservatorship happened and why I was unfree and I couldn't choose where or how to